Ciao a tutti amici e bentornati sul mio canale, io sono Grace. Oggi continuiamo la nostra avventura con il secondo episodio del secondo capitolo di Ritorno al futuro. Dunque, ci eravamo lasciati che Doc ci aveva riportato nel presunto presente e adesso dobbiamo vedere se effettivamente il presente rispecchia le nostre aspettative. Quindi vediamo un po' cosa ci aspetta.
Wonder if Biff finished the wax job on my 4x4. Dad must have used that to haul away all those books from Doc's estate sale. I better use the front door, just in case.
Ok, quindi dice che è meglio entrare dalla porta principale.
When did we get a bug zapper?
Ma già notiamo qualcosa di differente, mi sa.
Hey, anyone home? There's something wrong with my key.
Please, not now. Tomorrow. Give me another day.
Sono
It's
tuo
Marty,
figlio.
Dad. Open up.
Marty? No, that's impossible. Marty was run out of town.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Dice che siamo stati cacciati fuori dalla città.
Run out of town? What are you talking about, Dad? Let me in.
This is a trick. Go away.
Leave us alone! Haven't we suffered enough?
Mom.
Allora,
Mom, it's Marty, Mom. Open up.
It sounds like Marty, but it must be a trick.
Mom!
Go away. Shame on you.
How can I convince you?
Tell me something only Marty would know.
allora, dimmi qualcosa che solo Martin potrebbe sapere. Cosa hai fatto quando avevo 8 anni? Spiegatrice, come tu hai conosciuto mamma. Ok.
The first time he kissed Mom, it was at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
That's right.
Oh my lord, what are you waiting for, George? Let him in!
Stupid locks.
Marty! Oh my God, Dad. What happened to you?
What do you think happened, butthead?
Già, non è proprio il nostro
I
presente,
thought we
direi.
told you to stay out of town, shrimp.
Biff, whatever's going on, I'm sure we can handle it. Reasonably. Who were they?
Like you don't know Cliff and Riff. What do you think we should do with them, baby bro? What we should have done years ago, big bro. I'm gonna enjoy this, McFly.
Wait, I'm trying to process here.
Allora, da quando Biff ha dei
Where do
fratelli?
these other tannins come from?
From a mommy tannin and a daddy tannin. It's called the birds and the bugs, butthead.
Scriva, dico.
I got a question.
Cosa abbiamo
Why are you guys so
fatto?
pissed at me?
You don't remember? You've really lost it, McFly. Think back. The thing with the manure truck.
Which one?
Salta.
Hey!
And another thing.
Eh,
When did I get run out of town?
2 years ago. Don't you remember? We made a deal that we'd go easier on your old man if you left. But now you're back. So the kid gloves can come off.
qui adesso. Ok,
Tell me.
adesso vediamo se possiamo lanciargliela, fargliela lanciare in testa all'aria.
What about my mom? I mean, how did she end up with my dad?
Beats us. Guess she has a thing for losers. She could have had any one of us, but she went for old Gimpy McFly.
Allora, saltiamo ancora.
Oh!
Here's what I still don't understand. How How long have you been coming down on my dad like this?
Ever since that school dance, when Georgie laid Biff out in the parking lot. Shut up, it's not funny. Someone messes with the Tannen family never lets him forget about it.
Schiva. Ok, quindi stiamo andando bene. Dov'è tuo
Wait,
padre?
does all this have something to do with Kid Tannen?
Pop? What about him?
He was supposed to end up in jail.
Jail? Pop's never spent a day in jail in his
Ah, quindi
life.
suo padre che doveva andare in
Tannen gang's
prigione
the fifth most dangerous
non è mai
crime
andato in
family in
prigione.
California. We got connections all over the place.
No way.
You don't believe me?
Biff, no!
Bang! Ha ha! Check it out.
To your family from mine, in gratitude for your continued service, J.J. Valenti.
That's Don Valenti, godfather of the Sacramento mob. The third most dangerous crime family in California.
Abbassati. Perfetto. È andato bene subito il primo colpo. E abbiamo stesi 3.
Piece of cake.
I never should have let that floozy talk me out of rubbing out your grandfather.
Huh?
Quindi questo qui è il cattivone che abbiamo visto nel primo capitolo del
No
gioco.
one in Hill Valley messes with the Tannen family.
Grande Doc, meno male che è arrivato lui a salvarci.
Timeline's been compromised.
No kidding!
Somehow, something we did in 1931 allowed Kid Tannen to escape his date with justice. As a consequence, the Tannens have been unchecked in Hill Valley for over 50 years.
Ah, jeez, they robbed the arcade?
We've got to go back to the day Kid Tannen was supposed to be arrested. Figure out what went wrong and fix it. Otherwise, you could be forever stuck in a town owned by the Tannens.
Not an option, Doc. Punch it.
Ok.
Okay, Doc. Let's run through this again.
Sometime tonight, Kid Tannen is supposed to be betrayed by his mole, the singer named Pixie Trotter.
That hot babe I saw coming out of the speakeasy.
Exactly. When she does, history says Tannen will be arrested by a rookie cop by the name of Danny Parker.
Parker. Hey, do you think he's related to Jennifer Parker, my girlfriend?
Could be.
Heavy.
In any event, somehow we've changed history so that neither of these events happens, condemning your family to generations of abuse at the hands of the Tannen crime family. We need to go back into Tannen's speakeasy, find out what's going wrong, and get Kid Tannen arrested.
No problem, Doc. Let me just put on my hat and I'm good to go.
Ok, dobbiamo tornare allora
Is the mustache really
nel bar
necessary?
It's
clandestino.
essential. You can't let Kid know that you're the same troublemaker that foiled his attempt to kill me.
Are you sure you can't come in with me?
It's far too dangerous. You may be easy to disguise with your nondescript features, but ever since my daring escape from the police and the mob, my distinctive face has been plastered over every paper from here to Reno.
Nondescript.
I'll find a safe place to hunker down. That flop house ought to fit the bill. You can find me there if you need me.
Ok, e Doc va al dormitorio a nascondersi lì. Quindi tutto dipende da noi. Entra nel bar clandestino. Quindi il bar clandestino dovrebbe... Qua c'è la rompiscatole delle altre volte. Pannello di controllo di ricordo.
Huh, looks like Emmett's been busy.
Ah, parliamo subito con la tipa.
Pardon me, sir. From the way you're dressed and your general aura of seediness, I can infer only one thing. You're heading for Tannen's speakeasy. Am I right?
Sì?
Yeah. Can't you tell me the way?
Down. Straight down. The last stop before the inferno. Unfortunately, I don't have the power to stop you, but I beg you to tarry here a few more seconds and listen to my song. Me, 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 me. You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. What in heaven's name?
Oh, sorry, Miss Strickland. Just a little experimental prototype gone momentarily awry.
Mr. Brown, why is there a dog in that vehicle?
Why? Well, to advance the human condition, of course. Hello, Mike.
Mike? Mr. Corleone, what are you doing in that getup?
Sono in incognito, sono andato a una festa in maschera, adesso vesto così, sono in incognito.
I'm going undercover.
How exciting! You'll have to give me an exclusive sometime. Right now, I've got some souls to save.
And you'll have to get an eyeful of my newest experiment.
You're not angry about the rocket drill?
Water over the bridge. I've moved on to bigger and better things. Come by the gazebo when you get a chance. I'll be setting up. You won't believe what Einie and I have been up to.
Famous last words. All right. Now where's that speakeasy?
Ok, allora, visto che...
Mike, you're just in time.
Com'è stato?
How have you been, Emmett? I know I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I'm great, and I owe it all to you.
Really?
Yes, that argument I had with my father during our jet drill experiment gave me the incentive to finally quit that dreary court job. I've committed myself full-time to a life of science.
Che sta
What's the story with the
facendo?
little car and all this equipment?
Einstein and I are conducting a few experiments with this 1/4 scale model to work out a few hitches in my planned demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo in a couple of months.
A radio-controlled car?
No. Well, yes, but it'll be so much more than that. It will amaze the world.
E grazie
So,
per aver
thanks for
badato
watching
a
Einstein while I've been away.
It's been a pleasure. He's proven to be a surprisingly willing test subject. It's almost as if he's been working with me for years.
More like decades.
Aha! Got it!
Got what?
I'll show you. Ready to go, Einstein? Watch this! When this baby hits 23 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious cow flop.
Einstein! Oh, get him out of there!
Not to worry. I've got a fail-safe eject mechanism around here someplace. See? Nothing to worry about.
Nothing. I'll go see if I can find something to help. Or someone.
Ok, quindi questo qui ha fatto andare il cane sul tetto.
Don't worry, Emmett. I'm sure you'll get it right someday.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Right now, I'm more concerned with Einstein.
Can't you just go
andare,
into the courthouse to get Einstein?
If I still had my job as a clerk, sure, but lately a lot of evidence has gone missing, so they've installed new locks. Now the place is sealed up tighter than my dad's wallet.
Cosa
What
mi
went wrong with your
costò?
rocket car?
I'm not entirely sure. As soon as we get Einstein down, I'm gonna go look for it.
What's up with you and Edna? A couple months ago, I could swear she was making goo-goo eyes at you.
That was before my father had her Stay Sober Society meeting thrown out of our house. Now she takes every opportunity she can get to snipe at me and my work. It's very distracting.
Trova la tua
Why don't you go
macchina
look for your car
d'azione.
now?
And leave Einie stuck on a ledge? Never! Dogs are much more important than any silly rocket car. Especially one that doesn't work at all.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
My pop says he's a good cop when he's not drinking.
Good.
Of course, now I hear he drinks all the time.
You know anything about Trixie Trotter?
The songbird of the Sierras? The nightingale of the north? The floozy of the foothills? Never heard of her. Man, I've definitely never snuck into Tannen's speakeasy to listen to her.
Ok. Quindi dobbiamo andare
I'll go
a
off and see
sentire
if I can
questa
get
qui
some help.
nel
You
bar
do that.
clandestino.
I'll stay here and see if I can think of a way to get Einie off that ledge.
Aspetta, andiamo a magari a parlare con... Vediamo cosa ci dice e se ci fa parlare col vecchio Doc.
Hey, Doc. How's the room?
It's a little cleaner than I would have imagined for a Depression-era flophouse. How are your investigations going?
I haven't really made any progress with Trixie yet.
Well, get out there and make some. If she doesn't blow the whistle on Kid tonight, he may never be brought to justice.
Why didn't you tell me I'd run into your younger self tonight?
Because I don't remember being out here tonight. Clearly, your interactions with my younger self 2 months ago have slightly altered my personal timeline. I never had the nerve to perform public experiments like he's doing. No matter. Those experiments will be forgotten once I've seen Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yes. Right now, my younger self is fiddling around down there with rocket propulsion systems for his demonstration at the expo.
The thing that'll kick off your scientific career.
Exactly. Now, the rockets are a horrible idea, and I'll soon realize that they'll never work. But eventually, I'll wander into that movie theater and see Frankenstein and clear my mind. I've kept the ticket stub from that movie in my wallet ever since. See?
Why?
Because it's during this movie that I'll have the inspiration for my breakthrough at the expo.
It doesn't have anything to do with reanimating the dead, does it?
Not the way you're thinking, no. But during that famous scene when Colin Clive turned the wheel that raised that shrouded figure into the tower and that bolt of lightning struck, well, let's just say more than one brain was reanimated that night.
Ok. Dov'era? Salva.
Emmett's not having much luck getting Einstein off the courthouse.
I'm not surprised. Einie's a smart dog, but heights give him the willies.
What can we do?
I've got it.
What?
Just get my younger self distracted and I'll handle the rest.
Where'd you park the DeLorean?
I hid it in the DeSoto lot. Nobody's buying cars these days, so it should be safe in there.
Hey, who did burn down Tannen's original speakeasy anyway?
I still don't know. I'd really like to find out before we go home.
I never did get a straight answer about why he came back to 1931 in the first place.
It's, personal. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it.
I'm gonna hold you to that, you know.
Allora,
Why are Tannins always such jerks anyway?
It's hard to say. Rogue Neanderthal genes in their DNA, perhaps.
Can you explain all this? I'm confused.
It's very simple. In the original timeline, Timeline A, the speakeasy arsonist was never caught, creating one of Hill Valley's enduring historical mysteries.
Okay.
When I traveled back to 1931, I created Timeline B, in which I was misidentified as the arsonist and subsequently killed by Kid Tannen's goons. Einstein came with me, and somehow he ended up in the DeLorean when its fail-safe mechanism triggered, sending it back to 1986.
Which is where I came in.
Precisely. You traveled back to June 14th, 1931, creating Timeline C, a world in which Carl Sagan wasn't rubbed out by Kid Tannen, but Arthur McFly was served with a subpoena.
And shot by Kid Tannen's goons.
Yes. So you jumped back in time 6 hours, creating Timeline D, saving your grandfather's life, but somehow preventing Kid Tannen from meeting his date with justice.
Which is why the Tannins were so powerful when we jumped back to 86.
Uh-huh. So now we've returned to August of 1931, creating Timeline E, in which, fingers crossed, we'll send Tannen to prison where he belongs. Got it?
Sure.
Good.
One question.
What?
Can you explain all this? I'm confused.
Ok,
Just keep your head low, Doc. I'll be
allora
back
ci ha detto
soon.
che se
I'll keep an eye out
distraiamo
for your grandfather.
su lui giovane dovrebbe darci una mano per quanto riguarda il salvataggio di Einstein.
Any luck with Einstein?
I'm still thinking about it. It's a perplexing spatial conundrum, aggravated by Einie's understandable skittishness.
Prenditi una
Why don't you take a
pausa.
break from Einstein Patrol for a minute? Maybe go see a movie or something.
Thanks for the offer, Mike. When one Emmett Lathrop Brown sets his mind on a task, nothing can distract him from his purpose. And right now, that purpose is rescuing your dog.
Have you seen that Frankenstein movie yet? I hear it's pretty inspirational.
Not yet. I've been so busy with my rocket car that I haven't found the time. But I'm planning on going tonight. At least I will once I get Einstein down.
So you're really going to see Frankenstein tonight? I'd hate for you to miss it.
No, don't worry. Nothing in the world would keep me from seeing a movie about a mad scientist with delusions of godhood.
Cool. So you're
Altre
really going to see
cose.
Frankenstein tonight? I'd hate for you to miss it.
No, don't worry. Nothing in the world would keep me from seeing a movie about a mad scientist with delusions of godhood.
Cool. Well, I'll go off and see if I can get some help.
You do that. I'll stay here and see if I can think of a way to get Einie off that ledge.
What?
Don't touch those! They're very sensitive!
Sorry.
Don't touch those! They're very sensitive!
Sorry.
Magari la può distrarre Edna.
Hey, Edna.
Mr. Crockett, what can I do for you?
Allora, cosa sto facendo?
What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
Saving people from alcohol, vice, and disorder. And also keeping a lookout for hot stories. You'd be surprised how much news breaks on this corner.
Broken any stories tonight?
Only the usual. Mayor Thomas trying to slink out of the speakeasy. Frankie Needles crashing his car into a fire hydrant. Nothing that'll get me the front page.
Hey, I got a hot lead for you.
Oh? What is it?
Allora, Ten è arrestato. Promettente inventore fa bloccare il cane sul tetto. Promettente
Young
inventore.
scientist strands dog on courthouse roof.
What?
Look over there.
Oh, for goodness sake. Mr. Brown.
Please, Miss Strickland, not now. Can't you see I've got a rather delicate situation on my hands at the moment? My trial run...
Trial run? Public hazard, I call it. And I'm sure my editor will agree. This scientific enterprise of yours represents a clear and present
Perfetto.
danger to public
You
safety.
know what represents a clear and present danger to public safety? Your singing voice.
There's no need to get personal, Mr. Brown.
Believe me, I have no intention of getting personal with you.
I'm relieved to hear it. Flying cars, of all the ridiculous
You
juvenile
mock me,
notions.
but just imagine. A world in which traffic jams and car crashes are a thing of the past.
I might be more inclined to listen to you if your maiden voyage hadn't ended in a crash on one roof and a stranded dog on another.
I'm working on getting him down. Einie, how'd you get down? Clever dog.
Well, fortune favors you tonight, but I warn you to be more careful in the future.
Now, how to get that rocket car back down?
Ok, e il cane è stato salvato.
Hey, boy, how you doing? Good dog.
Ok. Allora, qua di sicuro non mi farà fare
It's
niente.
closed for the night. Testing, testing. Sibilance, sibilance.
Hey, quit playing with my equipment.
Sorry.
Con Edna mi sa che non abbiamo più niente da dire.
Edna!
What?
Bella
What was that
canzone.
song you were singing earlier?
Do you like it? I wrote it myself. It really gets the toes tapping at the Stay Sober Society meetings. Although I suppose that could be the Shakes. Would you like to hear it again?
Ma direi anche no. No,
Maybe
grazie.
later.
I'll be here all night.
What's going on with you and Emmett? The last time I saw you, you seemed to be kinda interested in him.
That was before I belatedly realized that his agreement to host my Stay Sober Society was a clever ruse to ferry barrels of hooch to his so-called laboratory.
Sorry about that.
Now his very presence fills me with an irrepressible urge to pick at his philosophical and intellectual foundations with every tool in my vocabulary.
So you're not dating?
Dating? The mere thought of romantic involvement with that undisciplined techno-anarchist is preposterous.
Good.
Allora, ci manca di chiedermi parli di
What's
Tammy.
Kid Tannen been up to for the last 2 months?
Didn't you hear? It was in all the papers.
I've been, traveling.
Well, the feds were all set to arrest Tannen on tax evasion charges. Seems they'd gotten Tannen's books from his accountant.
I heard something about that, yeah.
Well, the accountant disappeared, unsurprisingly. But the feds still thought they had a case. After all, they still had the books, right?
Right.
Wrong. The day before the trial, the books up and vanished right out of the court's evidence locker.
No.
Lots of fingers were pointed, but honestly, the whole town's so corrupt that it could have been anyone. Court clerks, cops, janitors.
Ok, quindi... Caesar
Kids
chiede
walking
libero.
around free?
Free, clear, and laughing it up in his new speakeasy. The feds want to bring a case up against him, but without those books, they've got nothing.
Couldn't Kid be brought up on other charges like, say, running a speakeasy?
In a perfect world, yes. But no one in town seems to care about prohibition anymore. The feds are only interested because of the lost tax revenue.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
Parker? Just another soul lost to the twin vices of booze and despair. I've asked him to tell me his story for my column. Sort of a cautionary tale, but he's never in the mood to talk to me.
Ok, e... parli di
You wouldn't happen to
Trixie.
know anything about Trixie Trotter, would you?
Kid Tannen's latest conquest? Well, she claims to be a lounge singer from Seattle, but my sources in Washington have never heard of her. I mean, honestly, Trixie Trotter, what kind of name is that?
Ok,
Whatever happened with that speakeasy arsonist?
I was about to ask you the same question.
Me?
Don't play coy with me. I may not have any journalistically acceptable proof, but I know you had a hand in Carl Sagan's daring escape from the authorities.
What have you got against dogs, anyway?
They're smelly, rude, completely unable to take care of themselves, and frankly, they're not very bright. If I had my druthers, dogs would be banned from public places.
Harsh.
It's a harsh world, Mr. Corleone.
ok, mi sembra che
Didn't you think that Sagan
abbiamo
was
chiesto
innocent?
tutto.
I used to, but after he escaped, 2 more speakeasies were torched in Colfax and Georgetown.
That's just a coincidence.
Coincidence? Or is our friend Carl a serial arsonist?
I'm pretty sure that Carl Sagan didn't start those fires.
We'll see. One of the reasons I'm camped out so close to Tannen's new speakeasy is it gives me the chance to catch the arsonist in the act. It'll make a great story for my column.
Ok.
See ya.
Perfetto.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Va bene amici, io direi che l'episodio di Ritorno al futuro finisce qui. Spero che la nostra avventura vi stia piacendo. In tal caso, se non siete iscritti al canale, iscrivetevi. Se vi è piaciuto il filmato lasciate un bel like, commentate e condividete sui vostri social network. Vi ringrazio per avermi seguito, ci vediamo con il prossimo gameplay. Un saluto a tutti da Grace Gamer 78.